exciting moments, but also like the little blips where I just don't feel great. I think that's really important that you see me as a human being, because I think a lot of people don't. So I don't know. I want that disclaimer up.
I don't know when it's gonna happen, but I know it's gonna happen. The trouble, am I right? You can't check in. You're not an adult. I have nothing interesting to say. I look insane. Everyone's just ignoring my phone calls. Whatever, it's chill. I don't even care.
Has a single tweet ever tanked a Hollywood career? Rachel Zegler, once hailed as the next big thing, is at the heart of a firestorm that's got everyone talking. At just 23, she went from dazzling audiences in West Side Story to becoming the poster child for Hollywood's culture wars, with her Snow White remake sparking chaos before it even hit theaters. Now, whispers of a mysterious project shutdown have fans and critics alike asking, is Zegler's star fading, or is she being unfairly targeted? From racist backlash to political feuds, from box office flops to rumored on-set meltdowns, let's unravel the wild.
I don't want people to see me as ungrateful or anything like that. I was nervous if that's what this makes me look like.
I'm gonna be on a talk show tonight and I'm gonna talk shit about them on the talk show. Talking shit on the talk show. This is the one time in my life where if you have something to say, I don't want to hear it.
Twisting tale of Rachel Zegler's rise and the controversies threatening to derail her. Buckle up, because this story's got more plot twists than a blockbuster thriller, and it's only getting crazier. Let's start at the beginning, when Rachel Zegler seemed destined for greatness. Born in New Jersey to a Colombian mother and Polish father, Zegler grew up singing in school musicals, posting covers on YouTube that showcased her crystalline voice. In 2018, at just 16, she answered an open casting call for Steven Spielberg's West Side Story remake. Out of 30,000 hopefuls, she landed the role of Maria, a part that demanded both vocal power and emotional depth. When the film hit theaters in 2021, critics raved, calling her performance a revelation. She nabbed a Golden Globe for Best Actress in a Musical or Comedy, a rare feat for a newcomer. Hollywood was smitten. This was a star who could sing, act, and charm, all with a fresh-faced authenticity. Her next role as Lucy Gray-Baird in The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbird Snakes in 2023 only cemented her status. The film grossed $337 million worldwide.
I don't want people to see me in a weakened state.
Zegler's career now looking like it is seriously on life support,
proving she could carry a major franchise. Directors lined up, studios took notice, and Disney handed her the keys to their kingdom, the lead in their 2025 live-action Snow White. It was the kind of role that could make a career, a chance to reimagine an iconic princess for a new generation. But what looked like a fairy tale beginning was about to turn into a nightmare. How did it all go so wrong? The trouble started the moment Disney announced Zegler as Snow White in June 2021. The original 1937 Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was Disney's first animated feature, a cultural touchstone that defined the company's legacy. Casting Zegler, a Latina actress, in a role described in the fairy tale as having skin as white as snow was a bold move. For many, it was a triumph of representation, a signal that Disney was embracing diversity in its storytelling. But a vocal minority wasn't having it. Conservative commentators and online trolls flooded social media, arguing the casting was woke pandering that betrayed the classic tale. X-posts called her miscast and worse, with some attacks veering into outright racism. Zegler told Cosmopolitan in 2025 that the harassment got so bad.
Rachel Zegler just keeps making things worse with the Walt Disney Company. The more that she tries to defend this movie, the more that she tries to spew her agenda onto the general public, it's only making matters worse. Not just for Bob Iger, but for whatever is left of the image of Disney as a whole.
Jonah Platt, whose father helped produce the latest Snow White film, had some very harsh words for star Rachel Zegler.
For context, Variety wrote a report recently titled Inside Disney's Snow White Fiasco, Death Threats, Beefed Up Security, and a Social Media Guru.
People showed up outside her apartment, shouting profanities. For being brown, for having brown skin, for playing Snow White, she said, her voice steady but pained. This wasn't just online noise. It was personal, invasive, and cruel. Yet Zegler stood her ground, emphasizing the universal appeal of the story. In a Variety interview, she said, "Never in a million years did I imagine this would be a possibility for me." Her poise won her fans, including The Little Mermaid's Halle Bailey, who faced similar racist backlash. But the casting controversy was just the first first crack in the foundation. Something else was brewing, and it was about to make things even messier. Zegler's next misstep came in 2022 at Disney's D23 Expo, where she discussed the Snow White remake. She called the 1937 original extremely dated, particularly its portrayal of women and the prince, who she described as a guy who literally stalks her. In an extra TV interview, she doubled down, saying, "The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who's weird, so we didn't do that this time." Her goal was clear: to pitch a Snow White who dreams of leadership, not just love, a modern heroine with agency. To some, it was a refreshing update, aligning with Disney's push for empowered princesses like Moana or Elsa. But to fans of the original, her words felt like a jab at a beloved classic. X erupted with clips of her comments, accusing her of mocking Disney's legacy. "She's trashing the film that built the company," one user wrote. Others called her ungrateful, arguing she didn't grasp the cultural weight of the 1937 film, which pioneered animation techniques still used today. Zegler later softened her stance, telling Vogue Mexico in 2025 that the remake balanced the classic with a modern twist. But the damage was done. Her critics had ammunition, and they weren't letting go. And just when it seemed the storm might settle, a new controversy blew it wide open. In August 2024, as the Snow White trailer dropped to 120 million views in 24 hours, Zegler took to X to thank fans. Then, in a follow-up post, she added, "And always remember, free Palestine." The timing was explosive. The Israel-Palestine conflict was a global powder keg, and her co-star, Gal Gadot, who plays the evil queen, is an Israeli actress and former IDF instructor who's vocally supported her country. Variety reported that Disney executives were blindsided, with producer Mark Platt flying to New York to urge Zegler to mind her social media.
Apart from all of the political controversy started by the actress, so the movie had all kinds of problems creatively and conceptually.
A promo tweet with a political statement. As a result, Mark Platt flew to New York to speak with her in person.
And a lot of what you see with Zegler is really just this pretty common Gen Z mentality and approach to work.
The post, which racked up 8.8 million views, sparked rumors of a feud with Gadot, especially since Zegler left her out of an Instagram post thanking the cast. Sources told People magazine the two had nothing in common, fueling speculation of on-set tension. Gadot, for her part, kept her comments limited to supporting Israeli hostages, but faced death threats after Zegler's post, prompting Disney to beef up her security. On X, fans picked sides, with some boycotting the film over Gadot's involvement and others slamming Zegler's politics. The Palestinian Campaign for the Academic and Cultural Boycott of Israel even called for a boycott, though it targeted Gadot, not Zegler. Caught in the crossfire, Zegler stood firm, having signed the artist's ceasefire letter alongside stars like Joaquin Phoenix. But the fallout was undeniable. Her tweet had turned a fairy tale into a political lightning rod. And the worst was yet to come. When Snow White hit theaters on March 21, 2025, the numbers told a grim story. With a budget of $240 to $270 million, the film needed at least $340 million to break even. It opened to just $43 million domestically and $87 million globally, a far cry from Disney's hopes. By April, it had limped to $168 million worldwide, one of the studio's biggest flops since Mufasa, The Lion King. Critics were brutal, giving it a 40% on Rotten Tomatoes, with The Independent's Clarice Lowry calling it lazy and visually repellent. Yet many reviews praised Zegler's performance, noting her singing and charisma as a highlight. So why the disaster? Some pointed to the film's CGI dwarfs, a response to Peter Dinklage's 2022 criticism of the backward dwarf stereotype, which led Disney to replace actors with dwarfism with digital characters, a move that backfired, drawing accusations of lost opportunities for little people. Others blamed the modernized story, which ditched the classic love angle for a focus on leadership. But a loud chorus, including Jonah Platt, son of producer Mark Platt, pinned it on Zegler. In a now-deleted Instagram post, Platt called her narcissistic and accused her of tanking the film with her politics. Singer Lily Allen countered on X, arguing Zegler was a scapegoat for a smear campaign targeting her activism. The truth? The film faced a perfect storm of production woes, a 2023 fire on set, SAG-AFTRA strike delays, and cultural backlash. But Zegler became the face of its failure. And then, a new rumor emerged that could seal her fate. here's where things get shadowy. Whispers have surfaced about a new project, a gritty drama meant to pivot Zegler from Disney princess to serious actress, collapsing in spectacular fashion. According to unverified sources, the production shut down mid-shoot, not due to scheduling conflicts as the studio claimed, but because of Zegler's alleged behavior. Crew members reportedly described a set unraveling under tension, late arrivals, demands for script rewrites that clashed with the story's vision, and shouting matches with the director. One insider claimed a supporting actor refused to film until a mediator was brought in, while the makeup team dodged Zegler's trailer to avoid drama. The wildest claim? Zegler went live on Instagram, ranting about the production and possibly breaching her NDA, prompting lawyers to scour her stream for violations. If true, the studio could cut her loose without a full reshoot. No major outlet has confirmed these rumors, and they could be exaggerated, but they align with a narrative pushed on X, where users call her box office poison and claim she's alienated crew and cast alike. Her next project, She Gets It From Me with Marissa Tomei, is still in production, but these whispers cast a long shadow. Is this just industry gossip, or a sign that Hollywood's patience is wearing thin, as Zegler preps for her West End debut as Eva Perón in Evita at the London Palladium starting June 2025. New drama is already brewing. The role is a bold choice. Eva Perón was Argentina's controversial First Lady, a figure both adored and vilified, and the musical by Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice demands vocal and emotional firepower. Zegler's casting has drawn praise from fans who see it as a return to her musical roots, but not everyone's on board. Reports claim Madonna, who won a Golden Globe for playing Evita in the 1996 film, is irked that Zegler hasn't acknowledged her iconic performance. A source told the Daily Mail, Madonna feels her. Evita is timeless, and sees Zegler's silence as disrespectful. Adding fuel, Ariana DeBose, Zegler's West Side Story co-star, reposted a quote from Jonah Platt calling Zegler narcissistic before backtracking, claiming it was accidental. X posts have gone wild, with some claiming Zegler was dragged out of Evita rehearsals for bad behavior, though no credible source backs this up. Meanwhile, industry insiders whisper that studios are rethinking projects with Zegler. A fashion brand reportedly scrubbed her from a campaign, and another actress backed out of a future film, citing creative differences. In Hollywood, that's code for avoiding a sinking ship. With Evita ticket sales reportedly sluggish, as per the Daily Mail, the pressure's on. Can Zegler deliver a performance that silences her critics, or is the industry already closing ranks? So, what's the final chapter for Rachel Zegler? She's undeniably gifted. Her West Side Story and Hunger Games roles proved she can command a screen, and her Snow White singing earned raves despite the film's flop. Her upcoming Evita role and She Gets It From Me could showcase her range, maybe even spark a comeback. But the storm around her is fierce. The Snow White backlash, fueled by racist trolls and her own polarizing comments, painted her as a lightning rod. The unverified project's shutdown rumors, if true, suggest a pattern of on-set friction that's hard to ignore. Hollywood's silence is deafening. No directors are publicly defending her, and her PR team's gone quiet. Ex-users are split. Some, like at Thedstubbs, call her braver, more talented than most, while others, like at pro__trading, brand her a massive liability. Her supporters, including Melissa Barrera and David Ehrlich, argue she's been unfairly targeted for her heritage and activism, a victim of a toxic culture war. Yet her critics point to a string of choices: dissing a classic, mixing politics with promotion, and alleged unprofessionalism, that have made her a risky bet. At 23, she's got time to pivot, but Hollywood's not known for second chances. Is Rachel Zegler a star caught in a vicious smear campaign, or has she written her own cautionary tale? Drop your take in the comments, and let's keep watching to see if this princess can rewrite her story.